Welcome back to my College Football 25 Team Builder Dynasty with the Edmond State Scissor-Tails. In our last season, we managed to win the CUSA, and now we're back to try to win a back-to-back conference title here, but we do have to get through number 12 Liberty. I just want to add a quick note here in the video before it goes too much further in. I somehow screwed up some of the coloring in this video, and I tried to correct it in editing. I think I got it close, but if you notice anything weird, that would be why. But it was quite a successful regular season this year, our only loss coming out of conference to Oklahoma 34-14. We went undefeated in conference play. Our closest game was Middle Tennessee State 21-17, but we do already have a win over Liberty. We beat them 35-29, so we got a 6-point victory. So obviously today they're looking to get revenge. And if they can win, they should be in the playoffs. Same exact scenario for us. I am still going after several players on the recruiting board. As of right now, we are winning. It looks like all of them except this guy who I just added to the board. Obviously throwing a lot of points at these guys for a lot of 3 stars, but we do have a pretty solid recruiting class so far. Currently in the nation, we rank number 7 because we have brought in 9 4-stars and 1 5-star this year. This is what the current playoff bracket looks like. So as of right now, and obviously a lot of this can still change, if we win this game, we apparently have a really good chance to end up with a bye week out of the first round and we go right to the quarterfinal. But in order to do that, we have to win this game, so let's go ahead and jump into the CUSA Championship for Season 5 of this Dynasty. The first scenario we get is not a good one for us. It's a 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. They're going to come out in shotgun, send a man in motion. He takes the snap and a quick throw to a wide open man. We brought a blitz and they made us pay for it. Touchdown Liberty. And now we get to jump in on a 3rd and 7 to try to keep our drive moving. We're going to look for this quick slant route that'll be caught for the 1st down. Later on in the drive, we get another 3rd down. This time it's a 3rd and 5 from the 20. Dropping back, we're going to go to our running back, but it gets deflected away. We should be able to settle for a field goal try if it lets us, and it will allow me to jump in here. So we should be at least able to make this 7-3 as long as I don't completely choke on this kick. We're going to try to line it up. I think the accuracy is good, the kick is away, and it is a 7-3 ball game. I like getting this scenario. Following that, it's a 1st and 10 from the 12. It's still 7-3, and we're going to take this underneath throw. No, we're not. Now we face a 2nd and 10. Mock out a shotgun. We'll drop back. We're going to throw this to the outside. That'll be caught by our running back. Never mind, he can't hang on to it. That will bring up a 3rd and 10. We need to get to the 2-yard line to set up a 1st and goal. Mock will drop back, and we're going over the middle. Never mind. No, we're not. Did not get rid of it in time, and we will settle for yet another field goal try. This one, I don't even think I really need to change the camera angle or anything before. Kick is away, and it is now 7-6. Yet another 3rd down scenario for us as our defense gets us the ball back. It's a 3rd and 5 from the 41, and I tried to run it, but absolutely nobody blocked there. We now head into the 2nd quarter, where it is a 3rd and 5 from the 40. It is still 7-6. Mock out of a 5-wide set will drop back. We're going to let this one go deep downfield. Probably not my best decision, and it will fall incomplete. But the reason I took the shot there is because I knew we were going to go for it if it was not caught. So on 4th and 5, we'll drop back to a pass. Go over the middle. That'll be caught by our tight end, and he is going to get brought down inside the 20. So can Edmond State finally put together a touchdown drive today? It's a 1st and 10. Hand off to Shaq Marcus. Bouncing off his own blockers. Breaks a tackle and is brought down. That will set up a 2nd and 7 now from the 14. Mock will drop back to pass. We'll throw this one underneath, and that'll fall incomplete. Facing a 3rd and 7 with a 5-wide set. He'll drop back to pass. We're going to roll to the right side and just take off. There is nobody there, and he tries to spin out a defender. It is brought down to the 3, a 1st and goal. And on the very next play, we're going to come back and give this one to Shaq Marcus, who goes up the middle and is brought down to the 2. I have absolutely no problem running the ball again. So once again, going back to Shaq Marcus, and this time he is into the end zone, and for the first time today, Edmond State will have the lead. But how about we stay on the field and try to make this a 7-point game? Mock out a shotgun. We'll go to the end zone. That one will be a diving drop by our tight end. It stays a 5-point game. Apparently, outside of that opening drive, our defense is playing really good today. We get the ball back with about 2 minutes to go in the half. It's a 1st and 10 from the 11. And we'll be giving this one to Shaq Marcus, who goes up the middle and will fight his way to set up a 2nd and inches from the 1. Well, he got us down here before the 2-minute warning, so how about we reward him by giving them the ball one more time. Marcus up the middle and is into the end zone. Touchdown, Edmond State. I have still only gotten the 1 defensive scenario. Now we get to come back in with a minute 16 to go in the half and 2 timeouts for a 1st and 10 from the 44. We're going to draw back on the first play. Mock's going to try to run and get sacked. We are not going to burn a timeout just yet. 2nd and 11 from the 44. He'll drop back to pass. We're going to go deep downfield for Jimmy Branham in a foot race, and he will make the catch, and he is gone. Touchdown, Edmond State. And it would appear that Liberty would respond with a touchdown in the final 30 seconds of the half to make it 26-14. Now we face a 3rd and 8 here in the second half, and Mock is going to get hit on the play and will kick another field goal to try and make this a 15-point game. The snap, the hold, the kick is away, and it is good. How about this for a defensive scenario? 4th and 1 from the 23-yard line. Looking to keep their drive alive. Hand off to their back, who gets to the outside, and he has the first down and a lot more. He is actually into the end zone. So I have gotten to play 2 defensive plays and allowed touchdowns on both of them. Later on in the 3rd quarter, it is still an 8-point game here. We face a 3rd and 11 from the 27. Now he'll drop back, and we're just going to take off. I think I saw a man open, but Mock is going to duck out of bounds to bring up a 4th and 3. Now we will have a decision to make here. We could kick the field goal and make it a 2-score game again, or we could go for it. But I honestly think the better play is going to be to kick another field goal and make it a 2-score game yet again as we get near the 4th quarter, if I can talk here. So we'll line it up, and we're going to go a little bit more towards the right, and hopefully that kick is good, and it should be. All right, a defensive scenario. In simulation, they would get a touchdown. So it's a 5-point game as we jump in here in the 4th quarter. And on this 3rd and 9, they get the first down because our linebacker got a little bit too aggressive. Should have just made the tackle. Well, it would go back to simulating, so I'm not 100% sure what happened. But now on a 3rd and 6, we are not going to run the ball right here. We'll call an audible to try to burn away more clock. Mock will drop back to pass. We're going to fire this downfield, and that is going to be caught for the first down. Worst case scenario for us now is we have to kick another field goal to make it an 8-point game, and then the most they could do is force overtime. But we'll give this one to Shaq Marcus, and he will run for a 10-yard carry. That will bring up 2nd and inches with 2 minutes to go here in the game. We're going to send Sermon in motion. It'll be a toss out to Sermon. The blocking sets up. He has the first down. Jukes to the outside. Gets another block inside the 5 before he is finally met and brought down about the 2-yard line, and they burn that first time out. We are just going to come out in a goal line set here. Skylar Lewis is lined up at running back, and we will give it to him of the middle, and he is brought down for no gain as they burn the 2nd timeout. That will obviously set up a 2nd and goal from the 2. Another goal line set. We give it to Skylar Lewis up the middle, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Edmond State. And it looks like they are going to go for it here on 4th and 10 with 1:07 to play. Down by 12. They need a miracle. He will drop back to pass. He's going to launch this one deep downfield, and I think I'm going to let up another score. No, we actually do bring him down, but a 1st and goal from the 3. They get the touchdown in simulation, and now it's going to be an onside kick, and obviously we need to recover this one. This is for the game right here. They only have 1 timeout remaining, so they would have no chance if they don't get this. The kick is away. It bounces off our guy, but is luckily recovered by Jimmy Branham. So for the 2nd straight year, we have won the CUSA, this time by a final score of 39-34, and now we get ready for the college football playoffs, which we should be a lock to be in at this point. The final stats for quarterback Sidney Mock, it was not really a very pretty day for him. 13 of 25 for 233 yards, 1 touchdown, but no interceptions. On the ground, Shaq Marcus ran for 75 yards and 2 scores. Skylar Lewis also got a touchdown. And then receiving, Jabari Yabo, 4 for 63, but Jimmy Branham was the only one to catch a touchdown for us today. Then over on defense, it is a 4-way tie for leading tackler. And then in sacks, we got 1 from Taven Wade, 1 from Samuel Reddy Jr., and then a half of 1 from Owen Hollings and Brett Wilkes. And we got 3 interceptions all in simulation today, 1 from Marquise Westbrook, 1 from Hayden Haslam, and 1 from outside linebacker Eric Free. And I do like to see this. A conference championship will land you at least 1 recruit, and Darren Van Dyck, I have no idea if I said his last name right there, but a 3-star defensive end. We also get 3-star right tackle Juan Key, and those are going to be the only 2 guys we bring in. So I then also had to simulate in week 16, and we land a 3-star center and Quentin Costanzo, and we get another 3-star right tackle and Dominic Merrick out of Maryland, and those will be the only 2 we get in this week. Your 2028 Heisman Trophy winner goes to Jason Breeze, a quarterback at USC. Wonder if there's any relation to Drew Brees. Your official college football playoff bracket is now here, and we do end up with a bye week. We get to jump right to the quarterfinal, and we will either end up taking on TCU or Notre Dame. Let's go ahead and advance the next week and see who we will be taking on, because obviously we will get a matchup screen right here. and see if we land any new recruits. I don't think it's going to show it though, and we will be taking on number 5 Notre Dame. I am terrified. In the first round, Oregon absolutely destroyed Texas 49-3. Ohio State won over Auburn 45-35. Notre Dame beats TCU 31-17, and Nebraska takes care of USF 49-20. So yeah, we get to take on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Overall wise, we are not much lower than Notre Dame. They are an 89 across the board. We are an 86 down the board. And I have pulled off bigger upsets in this dynasty, I feel like, but let's go ahead and jump into the Capital One Orange Bowl against Notre Dame. The Irish would get the ball first and have driven all the way down to our 8-yard line, where we get a 1st and goal scenario. It's a quick throw to the outside, and he is into the end zone, an easy touchdown. Unfortunately, this is the next scenario I get, a 4th and 11 in the second quarter, where we are already down 21-0, so it hasn't even been letting me jump in. I don't know why it didn't let me jump in on the 3rd down here on this drive, but our kick is going to be good, so we are finally on the board. Notre Dame would respond with a field goal of their own, so now it's 24-3, but we do get a 2-minute offense here. A minute 31 to go with all 3 timeouts. Let's see if we can make a play. We're going to go deep downfield for Alex Sermon, who will make the catch deep into Notre Dame territory, and he is gone. Touchdown, Edmond State. Later on in the game, we would apparently get a field goal in simulation, and so would they, so it's 27-17, and we're going to get the stop on this 3rd down thanks to Jesus and Nelly. We are really trying to fight our way back into this game. A 3rd and 3. Mock out a shotgun. We'll drop back to a pass, and we're going to get sacked on 3rd down to bring up a 4th and 12, and it doesn't even let me try the field goal, and Notre Dame will get a touchdown, so now we're in the 4th quarter. I really love play the moments, but sometimes it's really confusing on when it wants to actually let you jump in. But 1st and 10 from the 10, now down by 17. We're going to throw this one to the end zone, and that gets tipped around and almost caught. And sorry about my voice on that play, it tried to go out. 2nd and 10 from the 10. Now to shotgun, we'll take the snap, dance around the pocket, trying to buy some time, and we're just getting sacked to bring up a 3rd and 15. And this is not looking good. Sidney Mogg back in shotgun from the 15-yard line. He will drop back to pass. We're going to throw this jump ball to the end zone, and that gets knocked away. Now it's going to be a 4th and 15. Mock back in shotgun. We'll take the snap and look to pass. We're going to fire this downfield. That'll be caught, but knocked out of Branham's hands. That's a turnover on downs. However, we do get another scenario in this game. It's still a 17-point game with about 4.5 minutes to go, and we're facing a 4th down, but we're going to take off with our quarterback, and he is going to get met and brought down. And that is just going to take us to the end of this game by a final score of 37-17. So we had a really good regular season, but once again we get to the playoffs and fail to win a single playoff game. Last year we got bounced to the 1st round by Florida State. This year we get a bye week and Notre Dame comes in and just handles business against us, and they are headed to the semifinals. Quarterback Sidney Mock goes 11 for 25, 231 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. On the ground, Shaq Marcus only got 39 yards on 14 carries. And then receiving, Yabo got 3 for 68, Alex Sermon 2 for 89 and a touchdown. And then over on defense, leading our team in tackles is going to be Lyle Bowe, one of our starting corners. Second is going to be Wes Spears with a total of 10. And then in sacks, we got 1 from Jesus Anelli and a half of 1 from Lyle Bowe and Samuel Riddy. And 1 interception that came from Greg Morris. Not that there's going to be much of a bright spot to losing in the playoffs, but a couple weeks later, we do manage to land another 3-star player, wide receiver Mafu Dog out of Memphis, Tennessee. And you know what? If we're going to lose in the playoffs, I would rather lose to the team that would eventually win the national championship, and that is exactly what Notre Dame has done, defeating Oregon 34-16, so the Fighting Irish are this year's national champions. Looking back on this season, quarterback Sidney Mock had 35 touchdowns as opposed to last year only having 26, but he also threw 6 more interceptions, so obviously we were a bit more aggressive with him in this season. Running the ball, we actually did that a bit less. Well, I guess we had the same amount of carries, but less yards and less touchdowns. Only ran in for 5 this season, ran in for 8 last year, but this will be his final year here. He was a senior, so we will definitely have a new starting quarterback next season. And it could honestly be any one of these guys. Morgan Eberle, who was our starter at one point before we brought in Sidney Mock. We have, I believe, a 4-star gym prospect in Nathan Tuttle. I don't remember if he was actually a gym or not, but I do know he was a 4-star prospect. I think he's one of the first 4-star quarterbacks I actually brought in here. If we double check that, yeah, he was a 4-star out of Mobile, Alabama. But we have also got Doug Boone, a 5-star quarterback coming in. Running back Shaq Marcus was actually really good for us this season, over 1,200 yards rushing and 12 touchdowns. Sidney Mock ran in for 5. Alex Sermon ran in for 3, and Skylar Lewis got a couple. Unfortunately, Marcus did fumble the ball 4 times, but he is only a redshirt sophomore, so he should be back next season, and I am excited to see if he improves at all in the offseason. By far, our leading receiver was Jabari Yabo with 65 catches, over 1,000 yards, and 13 touchdowns. Jimmy Branham had a really solid year as well. 750 yards and 9 touchdowns. Alex Sermon came out with 592 and 8 scores. And then Casey Nkumar tied in only 2 touchdowns. Lyle Shermer got 1, Shaq Marcus got 1, and Lamar Comar came away with 1. Leading our team in tackles this season was Eric Free, our left outside linebacker, who came away with 74. In sacks, George Sambrelo got 12.5. I don't remember where that compares to last season. I know last year he had a fantastic season for us, coming away with 15 sacks. So he did kind of take a step back this year, only getting 12.5, but still managed to lead the team. Who else had a decent amount here? Brett Wilkes got 6.5, Samuel Riddy got 6.5, Wes Spears got 4.5, Judge got 3, and then Jesus Anelli got 2. And interceptions, Marquise Westbrook came away with 3. By far, this is the most interceptions we have ever had in a season here at Edmond State. Eric Free got 2, Lyle Bowe got 2, Peter Torrance got 2, and then Owen Hollins, Devontae Mappa, Greg Morris, Chauncey Pack, and Hayden Haslam all came away with 1. Unfortunately for senior kicker Sean Augustine, he only made 77% of his field goals this year. Last year he made 88%, and we kicked a lot more field goals. But also this year we kicked a lot more extra points, which is obviously great for the team. With our junior punter, Ty McSwain, who we should get back next season, he has had to punt the ball less and less each year of his career, which is just a great thing for us to see. The most accurate kickers on the season, the kicker at Arizona State went 15 for 15, at Utah he went 19 for 19, and then Benjamin Cormier at, I believe, Central Michigan went 24 of 25, so probably the nation's best kicker. This guy did really well though as well. Now for the national stats that people actually care about, the quarterback at Stanford, Elijah Brown, led the nation in passing yards, but in touchdowns it goes to Kasim Cashman at Notre Dame, who threw 58 touchdowns and only 4 interceptions. How in the world did the quarterback at USC win the Heisman? There is definitely something weird with how they decide the Heisman Trophy in this game, because there is no universe where that guy, I don't even see him up here. I think he threw 32 touchdowns. Yeah, only 3 interceptions, which is great, but it's very clear that this guy was the much, much better quarterback. That's just really weird to see. Who was the most accurate quarterback on the season that actually threw a decent amount of passes? Got to go all the way down here to Deion Savoy at Michigan, who completed 71%. Alright, Notre Dame's offense was just ridiculous. I understand they played 16 games, so that's why some of these numbers are really high. But the most carries in the country goes to their running back with 282 attempts. The most yards goes to Michigan. And the most touchdowns goes to, I believe, Coastal Carolina's running back, Alex Shabazz, who ran for 17 touchdowns on the season. The leader in receptions is a wide receiver over at Georgia State with 97 catches and over 1,000 yards. But who had the most yards? That would be Emmett Mosley, the wide receiver at Stanford. And touchdowns goes to BJ Gibson at Florida State, who caught 22 on the season. Jumping over to defense, Bobby Stye and Phil Cummings, who went to Ohio State and Notre Dame respectively, both lead the nation in tackles with 107. In sacks, Joel Vernon at Stanford got 19.5. And then interceptions, Paul Emery came away with 7 to lead the country. The only other thing I am kind of curious about here is I want to see where Notre Dame's quarterback ended up on the Heisman watch list or the Heisman voting. He actually ended up in 3rd behind another quarterback. I really just don't see how. But that is going to wrap up this episode of the Edmond State Dynasty. And the next one, we will go over all of these season awards from this year because I did not do that in this episode. And we will take care of the entire offseason and possibly be moving conferences. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this one, and I will talk to you next time.